5-3 early, Weber State in front, all 5 from Blaze Threat. Jarod Lucas with the answer. Sends it over for Coleman. Coleman, who hit a triple earlier. Hines, the rebound, and the putback dunk. The two-handed jam from KJ Hines. Nice set play there for Jarod Lucas. Catch and shoot from the free throw line. Davidson's going to have to hurry here. 5 seconds to shoot. Back to the basket. Spins around. Buckets for Nick Davidson. Rollison resets with 10. Out to Lucas. Plenty of space. And Jarod Lucas hits the triple. Fans on their feet here at Lawlor Event Center as Nevada gets to 8-1. A decisive win over the favorites out of the Big Sky Conference. Nevada tops Weber State in their first meeting in 8 years. Wolfpack 72, Weber State 55. All right, great way to kick off episode 2 of the Jarod Lucas Show. I'm Alex Margulies. He is Jarod Lucas. Nice dub last night over Weber State. I could tell the way you were warming up that you were kind of dialed for this one. You had the headphones on. This was a game you guys really wanted coming off of Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely a bounce-back game for us, and we knew coming in that we had to go in there and play our game. Whereas last game against Drake, we felt like that wasn't us. That wasn't the team we've been all year. Offensively, they slowed us down, and I think last night we did a really good job of sharing the ball, all 5 starters in double figures, which is great for us. And hopefully we can continue that throughout the season because KJ Hines is a force inside for us. Nick Davidson played a great game as well.
How important was it for you to get off to a good start as a shooter? Because the last couple of games you haven't been able to really connect on your shots. I mean, you didn't hit any field goals against Davis. You still scored 13 points because you were at the foul line. And then against Drake, you only hit three field goals. But coming right out of the gates, we saw there, you hit a couple shots and kind of got into that flow early. How important was that for you to kind of get into that flow early?
I think it's great for a shooter to be able to see the ball go through the basket early. And that's especially what happened early. I think my first 2 baskets I was able to knock down. But that also goes to my coach, Jarod Noodles, offensively. He did a good job, especially in practice. Telling me some looks that I'm going to get with the way they defend. My first 2 shots were exactly what we drew up because we knew kind of the way they were going to defend. And my teammates, they did a good job setting screens for me. And, a little slow start for me. But I know eventually it's going to start falling for me.
You look at this game, to me, your guys' defensive intensity, you came out strong and you never really let up on Weber State. And that was kind of the formula that I feel like we saw from your team in the first 5-6 games, maybe leading up to the UC Davis game, was kind of a relentless defensive team. Do you feel like you got back to those roots last night?
Yeah, I think defensively, we can be one of the best teams in the country. We're a veteran group. We have 5 guys who I think can all defend at a high level. Well, I'm talking about our starters, but then we have guys off the bench who can all defend at a high level. But I think understanding roles has been important for us. We have guys who understand their roles, are happy with their roles, and they go in there and they play their butt off, whether that's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. So I think that's really important. And obviously defensively, we had a let up against Drake, but we did a great job bouncing back against Weber State.
And that's something that this team did a really good job of last year. Was almost every time you guys lost, you bounced back and got a win. What is it about this group that is able to kind of bounce back right after a loss?
I think it goes back to what I said, having veterans. We've been through it. Obviously, you never want to lose back-to-back games. So I think last year, if we look back at last year, all the way leading up to the last 2 weeks of the season, we never lost back-to-back games. So I think that just goes to our leadership as veterans. And I think you can look at me, Keenan, Trey, as just kind of going into practice the day after a loss. You can't sulk too much. Obviously you got to understand some of the mistakes that you made, but being able to go into a game and say, hey guys, this is what we need to do. And I thought us as leaders did a really good job coming in, as well as the coaching staff saying, guys, this was some of the homework that we need to do, and we did a good job kind of emphasizing that in practice, and led to a big-time win for us over Weber State.
Was the Drake game almost a little bit of a kind of look in the mirror for the team of just like, okay, we're good, but we can't just maybe approach a game the way that you did? Was that a wake-up call in some ways? And how did you guys approach, as a team, as a locker room, as a leadership, as a veteran team, as players? What did you guys do to kind of recover from that?
Well, Weber State, within the first 10, 15 minutes, they punched us right away. And we didn't respond very well. So we understood that as us veterans, once again, we got to set the tone. We've been through these experiences. So I think we did a really good job against Weber State, setting the tone, especially as starters. And you're able to set the tone like that. You have guys that are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 coming off the bench understanding, hey, we got to do this, and look at the way these starters are playing.
Yep.
So I think we did a good job doing that.
All right, let's talk about a couple of your teammates. First, I want to go with Nick Davidson. We kind of named him. It was a tough choice because you really could have gone with 3 or 4 different guys, and that's a good problem. As to who the player of the game was, I chose Nick because the way that he played on both ends of the floor. He had 3 blocks, he had 11 points. When KJ Himes went down with the twisted ankle or whatever that is, he kind of stepped into that 5 spot as he is comfortable doing. What did you make of the way that he was able to kind of control things in the paint?
I think it shows our versatility as a team. Obviously it sucks that KJ went down. KJ goes down, we get Daniel Foster in at the 4, and then you get Nick Davidson in at the 5. But he's so versatile with his ability to shoot the 3 ball, which a lot of times, even when last night or the other night when we were playing, he sets a ball screen for me, he pops. A lot of times, what are you going to do? You have a guy like me coming off that can shoot it, and you have another guy like Nick who can shoot it really well, and he got some great looks. But I think also you mentioned his defense. Defensively, he worked really hard in the offseason, and 3 blocks, obviously that's a tremendous job by him as well.
All right, let's talk about KJ. First, just the way that he played early. You guys, there's been probably 4 or 5 games this year. Your first possession, you're going into KJ Himes. You guys want to establish him in games early. How much of a force has he been already, and how much even more of a force do you think he can be inside?
I think as the season continues to grow, we're going to keep on feeding him the ball. Last night, we tried to emphasize we got to get into KJ. We got to emphasize, getting the ball in early. And then for K, if it's not a bucket, to me, as a guy who's throwing it in a decent amount of time, if it's not a bucket, it seems like he's getting a foul call all the time. So I mentioned it before, when we were talking a couple weeks ago, but KJ can be a big reason or a big piece for this team. So if he stays healthy, I think we got an incredible opportunity to cut down some nets. Obviously,
last night we did see him leave the game. Coach called it maybe a turned ankle. I know he was kind of saying to you guys on the bench that he was okay. I mean, what kind of sense do you have for where KJ's feeling?
I know that he's been banged up most of his career, so I know K is the last guy on our team that wants to not play. So I know he's going to be getting treatment over the next couple of days, and it's good that we have a couple-day break leading to Sunday's game against University of Hawaii. So I think he should be fine. But, he'll work with our trainers, and I'm pretty sure he'll be fine, though.
All right, I want to talk about one more guy, and freshman Tyler Rollison, another guy from LA. You guys came from the same AAU program. What do you make of the way that he has been able to play? He had 5 assists in the game last night. That was a career high. He had 3 threes in the game against Drake. To me, he just seems like a guy as a true freshman. Not a ton of players step in and are as comfortable, I think, as Tyler has looked in the first couple of weeks of the season.
I think he's so calm and poised for a freshman. You mentioned it, but his ability to kind of slow the game down. For a lot of freshmen, you come into the game and oftentimes you're rushed or you're not used to the size and athleticism at the Division I level, but it doesn't even affect him. But, I think that goes back to his work. As somebody who's seen kind of Tyler growing up, being from SoCal as well.
Yep.
He's always kind of been that way. He's played up, and then being on the Compton Magic team. I always got to shout out Compton Magic. So he's played with some pretty good players and played against some pretty good guys throughout his AAU career and now leading into college as well.
All right, so we're going to have much more to talk about with Jarod. Later in the show, we've got Snookey Wigington in the house. He's got some great stories, another guy from L.A., so we're excited to have him. We're also going to get a game in this, and it's a would you rather. So there's some good questions. I'm not going to even let you know.
Okay.
We're just gonna go colds with those questions later on. Next, though, we're gonna talk about the upcoming trip to Hawaii. Nevada getting set to play in the Diamond Head Classic and against the Rainbow Warriors. We'll have that on the other side of the break. Back here on the Jarod Lucas Show, I want to thank the partners on our program, including Key Acura of Reno. Jarod, before we get to Hawaii and playing in the Diamond Head Classic, I do want to mention last night seeing the return of Tylon Pope, who warmed up with you guys before the game. Looks like he's very close to returning, coming off of a broken hand. How excited are you to see Tylon kind of join this group, and maybe we'll see him as soon as Sunday in Hawaii?
I'm looking forward to it. Tylon's energy, I think, is second to none. And sometimes, if you see it during the games or over the last 9 games, you see him on the bench. It's almost like he's a player out there on the court. So having a guy like that that's so invested in the team is great. And then once we're able to get him out on the court, he's going to add a different side of things that people haven't really seen, especially with his ability to rebound, dunk the ball. And then I don't think there's too many guys in this program, maybe I'm missing some, but as athletic as he is. And he competes at a high level.
I was talking to Bill Dwayne, and he said he's the kind of guy that can kind of blow the roof off the building when it comes to his dunks. Like he is going to kind of electrify the building. We saw KJ dunk the ball. Outside of KJ, you guys don't have a ton of guys that are really going. Keenan sometimes will have a big dunk, but it sounds like Tylon's that guy that is going to kind of give you that ferocious dunk.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. You throw it up anywhere near the rim, he's probably going to get it. Or even missing a shot. You miss a shot anywhere near the rim, you may see Tylon Pope flying from the three-point line, dunking something. Well, that just goes to show how hard he plays. He plays hard and he competes at a high level, and it's probably second to none with how hard he competes.
All right, big week coming up for you guys. I'm sure this is something you've been looking forward to, not only for the play on the court, but off of it as well, getting a chance to go to Hawaii and to get to go there for, I think, like 12 days.
Yeah.
You guys are going first up, the Rainbow Warriors on Sunday, then you get a couple of days off, and eventually you'll play in the Diamond Head Classic December 21st, 22nd, and 24th. How much is the team looking forward to being on this trip?
I think it'll be fun. It's a different experience for us, and then being able to go to the University of Hawaii is going to be great, and then playing a road game. We haven't, besides University of Washington, we haven't played a road game for, I don't know, a month or so. So going to play University of Hawaii, who's undefeated at home, one-loss team, it was a really good team. It'll be a good test for us, and it'll kind of be able to show some adversity we're going to see on the road because, at the University of Washington we saw it for a little bit, but getting another test like that's going to be great for us.
This is a cool, I don't want to call it homecoming, but it is for your family. This is kind of a special place. Your dad actually played basketball for the University of Hawaii. He played there for 2 seasons. Your mom has spent a lot of time living out there on the islands. You've got family in Oahu. I guess on a personal level, what's this trip going to mean to you?
It's going to be pretty cool. Being able to go in the stands and seeing not necessarily some of my immediate family, but I'm going to have some family there as well. Being Hawaiian myself, and also my dad playing at the University of Hawaii. He hasn't been back for over 20, 25 years. I was just talking about it this morning with him and how excited he is kind of get back to the Stan Sheriff Center where some of his roots are. So it'll be cool for me. And then the University of Hawaii recruited me out of high school, and it'll be cool to be able to go back there and get on the island and play some good basketball.
All right, and we're going to have our next Jarod Lucas Show. We're going to tape that while we're in Oahu. That show will air on the 28th, but we'll have kind of a special edition of the show out there in Hawaii, so I'm sure there'll be some good stuff. I'm probably going to send Jarod out with a GoPro, maybe capture some behind the scenes. Nick Davidson was saying he wanted to get some surfing in. I'm not sure how Coach would feel about that, but he might have to just, hey, I'm going to go for a walk. And, Nick's got to get on a board for a little bit.
Yeah, Nick's a Southern California guy from Mission Viejo, so he definitely loves the beach. And then I'm looking forward to getting out there as well. I don't know how
you going to surf?
I'm definitely going to get out there.
Oh,
I don't know
nice.
how good I'll look.
All right.
How good I'll look out there, but it'll be fun for us. And then hopefully Coach allows us to get out there. I know we only have a couple of free days, but
yeah, you got a couple days where you can go. I'd say surfing to me is one of the hardest things I've ever tried doing. I've caught a wave once, and I was in San Diego. Mm-hmm. I was very happy about that. I have tried surfing in that spot in Honolulu a couple times, mixed results. But I am determined to get back out there and keep going. It's a lot of fun.
It should be a lot of fun. I got some of that Hawaiian blood in me, so hopefully that could help me out a little bit when I try to get up on the board.
All right, we'll see who's got the best surf skills. I'm putting my money on Nick right now. I guess he's probably got the most experience.
I'd say he's probably number one if we look at our power rankings.
Surfing power rankings.
Yeah, Nick's probably at the top.
All right, we'll have more to discuss about this next week on the islands. Coming up next here on the Jarod Lucas Show, we're heading down to our Legends Bay Casino Lounge powered by Circus Sports. Snookey Wigington is going to join us. We're going to talk about his kind of path getting here. He's got some very interesting stories. And then at the end of the show, the Would You Rather game. There's some pretty funny questions on here. You want to stick around for that. Back here on the Jarod Lucas Show, this segment presented by Bradley Drendel and Janae. Jarod Lucas, Alex Margulies, Snookey Wigington joining the party now. And we were just talking about Hawaii. And Snookie, you said you're pretty stoked about the shop. So a lot of people think about beach.
Yeah.
We're thinking about like surfing, maybe some snorkeling. Like you're pretty dialed for the Honolulu shopping scene.
Yeah, the clothes there are very, very nice. They always have stuff that like you can't get in like the States.
And you said that sales tax is lower there?
Oh yeah, sales tax is lower. It's very low.
I think we might have to do like a shopping with Snookie segment. Jarod, what do you think?
I think we might have to have some of the people comment on some of these videos or send something to me or Alex if you want to see Snookie a little video.
Yeah, give us some feedback if you want to see the shopping with Snookie segment. All right, so what's like the first store? Do you have like a top store you're thinking about?
Sure. Okay, the Chrome Heart store, you only could go there by appointment. So I gotta make an appointment to go there.
Dang.
They do custom things too. So like you'll go there and you'll like say you want custom. They'll do anything custom with Chrome Hearts. Like you could take that soccer ball right there and like tell them we wanted Chrome Hearts, and they'll do it.
Chrome Hearts. I actually don't know. What
Yeah,
that is.
there's
I'll
that.
pretend like I do, but I'll be honest. I don't know.
Just like this.
Yeah, no, that's a
big time.
that's a very high end store though. I only have like 2 items from there.
All
like,
right.
total.
I'm very curious to see what you come out with that. All right, Snookie. So you're a walk on the team, so you don't get to play a ton, right?
Yeah.
But the fans love you.
Yeah.
What's it like for you? Is it cool or is it awkward when the students start chanting Snookie? Because they were like 10 minutes, I think, left in the game against Pacific. They wanted to see you get in the game. How do you feel about that?
I'm glad people like me. It's very different than how I have always been. I've never been a person that was getting chanted
Like getting
to go
the
in
attention?
No, I just never been the person getting chanted to go in the game because like getting chanted to go in the game doesn't mean like, oh yeah, we like you. That means like you're kind of weak.
I think it's because they like you.
I'll add this.
What do you think?
I'll add this. They do like Snook, but also
Yeah.
I don't think, I'll say it for Snook. Snook in high school, me being from Southern California, Snook won a state championship in high school.
Like Snook and ball.
Yeah, Snook was the starting point guard on a state championship team. What division was it? Division 1?
It's Division 1.
Division 1 championship in Southern California.
I was
which is extremely
I
hard.
was CIF Player of the Year too my junior year. I had offers. I just made bad decisions when I was in high school, and then I found myself here.
But Snook, obviously Snook likes it here, but Snook is a great player. I think it's hard. Me and Snook were talking about off the air, but Snook, having his name, which is a good name. We love his name. Snook is a really, really good player.
How much does he help you guys in practice? Because that's, I think, what people don't realize. Like, you got to be relentless in practice. Like, you need like a certain type of energy from him in practice. What does he do to help you guys?
Snook is, and I think for most, I wouldn't say bigger guards, but most taller guards, having a guy like Snook who gets underneath you every day in practice is not easy. And Snook is extremely quick. And Snook, this is probably a fun fact for most people, Snook has the highest vert on our team.
Yeah. Dang.
Snook was a 42? 42-inch vertical.
It's tied with Waffle.
Wow.
Me and Waffle have the
40-inch vertical.
Yeah.
And Snook is extremely athletic. So I think it kind of goes unseen, and Snook gets in there for a sprinkle of minutes, but Snook is a really, really good player.
All right, so you're Snookie.
Yeah.
Your dad is...
My dad is Pookie.
Pookie.
And then my little brothers are Tuki, Wookie, and Zuki.
How did that all...
It's all in alphabetical
These
order.
these are not your birth names, right? These
No,
are just
all
nicknames?
of them are birth names.
These are actual like
all of our
government names.
birth names are L's. So
Okay.
my dad's name is Leland, and my mom's name is Laura, and then I'm the third, and then Lathan, Landon, and Lofton. So
Dang.
we're 5
It's easier to
L's.
keep track of you probably when you know. with
Yeah,
the
my
nickname.
mom. The only time I get called my government name is when my mom. I'm in trouble. Yeah.
What is it? You said it's
Leland.
Leland.
Leland. Yeah, I get in trouble, and my mom will call me that. But Snookie, it all came from like my dad is Pookie, and I have an aunt named Nookie. And then when I was born, I was like the second Nookie, so it was Snookie. And then my brother was the second child, so he was Tuki. And then Wookie, my mom said like that was just the name that fit him at the time. And then Zuki was a Z because it's the last letter of the alphabet.
This is like
She
the most
wasn't
unique family
Yeah,
name
she wasn't
situation
having
they've ever heard.
no more kids, so Z was the end.
All right, this is good stuff. I could spend all episode talking about this, but we do have one more segment. We're going to take a break. We're going to do the Would You Rather game. We're going to try and sneak a couple of these in. Some pretty fun ones. We'll be right back with Snookie and Jarod right after this. All right, Jarod Lucas Show continues. This segment brought to you by Wolfpack Moving. We're going to play the Would You Rather game. So I need you guys both to chime in. I'm going to start off with you, Jarod. Would you rather be underdressed or overdressed?
Overdressed.
Snookie?
Overdressed.
I'm going to say, you just talk about fashion.
Overdressed.
I'm the opposite. I'm underdressed. I'm
For
always
sure.
like casual.
Younger me would have been underdressed.
You're more casual. Now you've been
Now I
more professional.
yeah, on just better clothes. I don't know about professional.
Yeah.
Overdressed. All right. Would you rather give up social media completely or be an influencer?
Give up social media.
Like you'd be fine just to give it up.
I'd rather give up social media right now.
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of fine just giving up social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine
But
with
it is it's kind of a necessary evil.
Positives and negatives.
Positive
Yeah.
and negatives. All right. Brought back as a dog or a cat, Snookie, in your next life?
That's actually a hard question because I don't like dogs
Oh.
and cats are like.
That's a true statement, too.
You don't like dogs.
But
No,
no,
I
if
don't
you
like
bring a
dogs.
dog within Snookie's bubble,
Are you just
he's-
scared?
No,
Are you
he
scared
doesn't.
of dogs?
He doesn't
From-
get
from
scared.
dogs are
he
very,
just
yeah, dogs
Okay.
are
Get 'em
very-
out of the way.
Some, like,
I had a dog though, but I didn't touch it for the first year I had it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely not coming. So I guess we'll just say
Cat.
you're coming back as a cat.
Yeah.
You coming back
You
as
get
a dog
9
or a cat.
lives.
That's true. That's a good call.
I'm a dog. I'd rather be a dog. But my skin is very sensitive. So shedding dogs, my skin doesn't like. I'll get some hives every once in a while. So I'd say Shih Tzu. Dog.
Shih Tzu.
Chinese emperor dog, Shih Tzu.
I could see, like, you almost have, like, no offense, you kind of have, like, a Shih Tzu face.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
like
talking
don't
about,
you,
man.
you see a little bit? The hair,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
the
saying.
symmetry's there, I think.
And they got nice hair, too. So.
Interesting. All right. I wouldn't have expected that. That's good. All right. Would you rather be on a dating show or a survival show, Jared?
Survival show. Easy.
You're going survival show.
I know how
Survival
to
show or
survive.
dating show?
I'd probably go survival show.
Okay.
I think that'd be. I've always kind of found it interesting. How some of these people do
Yeah.
it.
It's kind of nuts, right?
I know all the techniques.
I can't
would
even believe, like,
survive.
Survivor's been around for, like, 30 years now or something.
Hold on, sorry, I just want to interrupt. What do you mean you know all the techniques?
Like, I know
For
how to
survival?
start a fire. I know how to get an animal. I know how to cook an animal. I know how to, like,
So you have, like,
find
hunting
water.
experience?
I just know how to do all that.
So you think you know how to do it, or you
No,
actually
I
do know?
I do know how
So
to
you
do
do
it.
you have hunting experience?
I've killed, like, squirrels.
That's probably not going to keep you fed for very long. I would actually like to take you. I think we have like some follow-up Snookie episodes. Like I'd like to actually like do a like we should do like a 3-day like in the mountains survival with Snookie to see if he
Me
could
and Jay
actually.
got a handshake. You gotta
Let's
show
see
him
if he
the
can
handshake.
actually like make a fire on
we
his
got.
own.
Let me just do a little.
Like
handshake.
flint and
gotta-
steel.
Let me see.
We got the handshake. And it comes from because I know how to use nunchucks. And he asked me how would I use nunchucks, and I showed him. And so that's the handshake.
He's like the international man of mystery. I feel like there's so many layers.
Snook's
here.
one of those rare people I think that knows.
Just like uncovering layers.
Has an idea about everything, and I mean that's a good thing too. But
All right, I'm going to ask one more. Would you rather your partner have an annoying best friend or an intimidating ex?
Intimidating ex.
man.
I ain't getting intimidated, bro. I just don't like to be annoyed.
Yeah, annoying would be rough. I think I could probably handle the intimidating ex. the
I think
annoyance.
intimidating X. I'm fine. I think I can handle my own. I think I'd be.
Same.
all
All
right.
right, last one. Constantly sticky or constantly itchy?
Oh, that's tough.
We only have like 10 seconds. Got to give an answer. All right.
Constantly itchy.
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 Itchy. All right, that's it for the Jarod Lucas Show. Snookie, Jared. See you guys next time.